and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with January transfer move to Arsenal. Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a January transfer move to Arsenal. Ivan Toney time first. Every day I've got to talk about this guy because every day when you think there's absolutely no chance, nothing, a little rumour then props up. I mean, the rumour today sort of centres around the fact that Ivan Toney played yesterday. We all know that he's going to be returning back to Brentford on January the 16th, but he actually played a game yesterday. It was a friendly, well, no, actually it wasn't a friendly game. It was Brentford B versus Southampton under 23s. Ivan Toney scored a hat-trick in the game. Now, I know he's only against under 23s, but for a player that's been out for the amount of time, 8 months that he's been out, that's impressive to come back straight away and then to score a hat-trick. Just a little reminder to sort of say, listen, I'm around, man, I'm here. Now, listen, the other thing as well is that I was speaking to somebody yesterday that's kind of around... Well, you know what? How can I say it without revealing everything? I can't say it without revealing anything. But basically, this person's very close to the sort of, Toney's. And was sort of saying that he'd love a move to Arsenal. He would love a move to Arsenal. And he's a guy that wants to play in the Champions League. So, listen... We all know the situation on this one, It's probably not going to happen in January. Will it happen, at all? Maybe in the summer? Is he worth the whopping fees that they're talking about? That's all to be debated, but still Ivan Toney in the news with regards to Arsenal. A player that's been linked with Arsenal this transfer window and also with a possible summer move as well is Lautaro Martínez of Inter Milan. Well, he is another player that was definitely not going to be coming to Arsenal because he's on the verge of signing a brand new long-term contract with Inter Milan, which is going to keep him at the club. We know that Arsenal have been very interested in him in the past. They wanted to sign him, but he ended up staying at Inter. Top quality striker, but going nowhere. This is the problem at the moment. If you want one of these, top strikers, getting them away from their club at the moment is very, very difficult indeed. And, these clubs know what they've got. But Martinez staying put. Dušan Vlahović. Now, is he actually staying put? This is a really interesting one because there was a director at Juventus who came out during the week and said that, they've had no offer from Arsenal for Dušan Vlahović and that Dušan Vlahović is not for sale this January transfer window. However, the Italian outlet Calcio Mercato, they claim that Arsenal are still pushing to try and get a deal done to sign Dušan Vlahović and that they'd be willing to offer a sort of cash plus player deal to try and get the deal done this month. Now, again, the club director came out and said they're not selling, but we've seen a lot of this in the past where clubs claim they're not selling and then all of a sudden a big offer comes in and they change their mind. Whether that will be the case with Vlahović, who hasn't actually been on fire since he's been at Juventus. I think he scored 6 goals this season, which is about the same as what Eddie Nketiah scored, you know what I mean? And you have to wonder if he's the right guy for the team. But we do know that in the past, Arsenal have been interested in signing him. But Dušan Vlahović, is he for sale this month? Is he not for sale? Again, we're going to have to wait and see. But that publication over there in Italy seemed to feel that Arsenal was still pressing to try and get a deal done. We'll have to wait and see how that one pans out, of course. Now, Jeremie Frimpong, a player that was heavily linked with Arsenal in the summer, is being heavily linked with a move to Arsenal again. He's having a great season for Bayer Leverkusen. Leverkusen, of course, top of the league over there in Germany, managed by Xavi Alonso, and they're really, really doing good things. Now, this guy's been a real integral part of their success this season. He's scored 7 goals. He's had 10 assists. That's a very, very good return so far in all competitions over there in Germany. And the German publication Bild, They claim that Arsenal are keeping a very, very close eye on him. They're big admirers of him, and they want to sign him. Now, whether it happens in January or in the summer, that is the question, because really, really interestingly, he's got a release clause in his contract for £34 million. The only thing is that doesn't come into effect until the summer. So in the summer, he will be available for £34 million on a release clause. That's unless, say, in the meantime, Leverkusen sort of do some sort of deal with him where they give him more wages, extend his contract, and then maybe remove that release clause. I'm sure they'd want to do that. But he'd have that release clause in the summer. I guess there's two things here. If Arsenal really, really want him, and listen, we need fullbacks. He can play as a right back. He's very, very good in that position. And, we need definitely, Mikel Arteta has made no secret of the fact that we need fullbacks. If they really, really wanted him, you could go in and say, all right, we'll give you 40 million now. And if the player is not looking like signing, it's a profit for Bayer Leverkusen. But then they've also got to weigh that up with the fact that they could win the league this season. They're top of the league. They're going really, really well. He's an important part. Again, this shows the difficulty of getting away top quality players from clubs in January. It's really, really tough. But also interested in the Dutch player, 23 years of age, fits all the profile, playing really, really well. Let's see how that one pans out. Emile Smith-Rowe has been subject to a lot of speculation linking him with a move away from the club. There's been a lot of talk right from the start of the transfer window that Arsenal would take, say, a £35 million for Emile Smith-Rowe. We all know that he's a great player, but his injury record at Arsenal has absolutely been horrendous in recent times. There's several clubs said to be really interested at the moment, but Arsenal's stance on this is that he's not for sale this January. They still feel he's got a very important part to play, and they are not looking to sell Emile Smith-Rowe this January transfer window. Let's wait and see how much they play him, you know what I mean? And if he can get back to absolute peak fitness, because we know that when he was at that level, he was an outstanding player. We forget just because of the main fact that he's been missing for so long. But can also get him back? Maybe they're thinking they definitely can. But Emile Smith-Rowe, not for sale. Now, on yesterday's show, I asked you guys to let me know what you thought of about these rumours with Eddie Nketiah. The fact that Crystal Palace really, really interested. They're one of the few clubs that are really, really interested in Eddie Nketiah. But it looks like Arsenal want to hold on to him as well. I asked for your comments on it, and I'll tell you, there was hundreds and hundreds. I've just picked out a few here. This one from Rockstar, he says, Eddie is not at all at that level to win us anything. Sell him right now if there is a buyer. So, he'd sell him. Navid Duan 7715 says, Robbie, we should sell Eddie if we get 40 to 50 million pounds, and we can play either Jesus, Trossard, or Havertz if needed. We can use that money to buy a right back. That position has been an issue all season. So what? Sell Eddie, get Frimpong, And Nozza Boy 316 Kid says, I would 100% sell Eddie if we bought another striker. The guy is just too inconsistent, and we can do much better, especially if we want to win the league. So I have to say, in going through the comments, the majority of those reflected what I just read out there, that most of you guys out there are saying, cash in, sell Eddie, and then go out into the market and try and get somebody better. But the thing is, who is that person out there right now that's available that's better? That's the $1 million question. I do expect things to start heating up come next week. You know what I mean? We've got that break, Arsenal. You know what I mean? There's going to be no game next weekend and no game for 2 weeks nearly. So I do expect Arsenal to get busy in the transfer market. If they're going to bring someone in, the next 2 weeks is going to be really, really critical. So keep it locked here. I'll keep you up to date with anything that's happening. We'll also have breaking news programs. But the search for a striker goes on. I can tell you how difficult it is that Spurs are so desperate that they're bringing in Timo Werner. That's how desperate things are. Who's that striker out there that's available right now? But who's the fullbacks as well? Thanks for watching the show. I'll see you tomorrow. And remember, we're here every day until the end of this month with Transfer Daily.